Hello once again, my people. It is I, Veed, and welcome back to my Burning Heart. Last episode, all of the other slave boys made fun of us for, looking beat up, looking like a sham, looking like we're starved to death, all that kind of, regular slave things. Ooh. This game's controversial. And now I guess we're learning how to dance. So that's gonna be fun. So let's get started. I think we can back up a little bit. Hold on.
You've got this, Adnan. You are ready to debut.
I just wanted them to say the line. They've been practicing Adnan's dance for some days. Every single free moment they could find.
You really think so? I'm not going to embarrass myself?
I don't think you're gonna embarrass yourself at all, honey.
No, of course not. The Sultan is going to love it. Besides, you look healthier by now. I bet he's going to fall head over heels for you.
Oh, you're gorgeous. Oh yeah, he doesn't have any cuts or anything. He looks like he slept. Oh god, I'm proud of you. Adnan felt his cheeks burn in shame. But that was the idea, yes. If he wanted to survive in the palace until he could find a way to escape, he needed to have the Sultan eating out of the palm of his hand.
Then, tonight's the night?
Oh, this is gonna go bad. Oh, I can already tell it. This is gonna either go great or this is gonna go bad. It was. The Great Vizier announced the Sultan. As on any other night, al-Rashid spent the time, and Halim hurried to greet His Majesty.
Your Majesty.
What is it, Halim?
He waved the other harem boys who were trying to call for his attention to quiet down.
Adnan has prepared a small performance for you, my lord.
Oh!
Oh, a performance? What kind?
A dance, Your Majesty.
How is this gonna be? A loud whisper started to run through the group of slaves.
Keep it down, boys. I'll be very pleased to watch Adnan's dance. Tell him he has my leave to start whenever he wants.
Alright, cool. This is fun. The Sultan sat down in the middle of the room, in front of the empty space Halim and Adnan had prepared beforehand. The other slaves sat down around him, some of them frowning, others amused, and others just yawning. Tag yourself on the one that's yawning, because I'm tired of all these bitches. Hello. Mike, don't tell me I'm going to have to censor things this episode. I don't want to censor things this episode. Please don't tell me that I'm going to have to do that. YouTube, I promise I'm a good boy. Adnan came to the room where Halim gestured to him. He walked to the center where all eyes converged, feeling self-conscious and nervous. Halim had made him an outfit for the occasion. The fabric was similar to the one that Adnan usually wore, but it left his chest completely bared. He inhaled deeply and started to move at the quick rhythm of the music. Oh boy! I don't have to censor, but We're loving it. Adnan rolled his hips suggestively and twirled his long hair swirling around his torso. I was about to be like, if it says glistening in the moonlight, you already know what I was going to do, but I'm not going to do it. His audience was completely silent by then, and he could feel all the eyes focus on him. His outfit was formed by several layers of translucent tulle. Am I going to have to censor? Which fell down to his hips and legs. The fabric seemed to fly and dance with him, brushing up and down his thighs with every turn he took. At a given moment, he pulled one of the layers and a piece of fabric came loose. He threw it to Halim, who caught it with a grin. Girl, don't zoom in like that. YouTube, I'm a good boy, I promise. He undulated his body following the music, quickly, then slowing down, and then quickening again. Beads of sweat were starting to roll down his torso. He didn't dare to check the effect he was causing to the Sultan. Maybe he was embarrassing himself after all. But the looks he was getting from the other slaves didn't lie. They were admiring his body and his movements. Another slow roll of his hips, and another layer of his outfit came off. This time, some of the boys whistled and cheered him on! Oh my god, see, they're proud. They're gonna be like, yes, Adnan, you go get that pussy slammed. You go get that pussy slammed tonight, boy! He felt more confident by then, and that was noticeable in the smoothness and grace of his dancing movements. So Adnan finally dared to stare straight to the Sultan, with his lips slightly open. The man was looking back at him with a mesmerized expression, and Adnan noticed how hung and dark his pupils were. Oh! He said we getting it tonight! He wet his lips, enticing, and swirled his head to make his hair dance around him like a halo. He didn't take his eyes off the Sultan. They stared at each other as Adnan danced and Rashid sat down in front of him. And in that moment, Adnan felt as if the two of them were the only living creatures in the world. Adnan moved as if in a trance, barely aware of the cheering every time he pulled another piece of fabric out of his outfit. Soon he was wearing a single layer of translucent tulle and nothing else. His manhood fell hot and heavy, sucked to the fabric with a sweat. He felt naked and urgently wanted. His head felt light, as if he was drunk with wine. Then... What am I doing? Why is this hitting the analytics so hard? It's because I can make it enticing and fun and entertaining. But why? Why does this have to be the thing that... I love you. Then, the moment he was expecting, the Sultan reached his hand out for him. Adnan took it and let the man pull him in until he was straddling his lap. Girl... The Sultan kissed him hungrily with his arms tight around his torso. Oh. Girl, he getting promoted to wife. He's hard. Adnan noticed when he felt the pressure against his thigh.
We'll take our leave already.
A general disappointed whisper raised among the slaves.
But that's unfair, Your Majesty. You just arrived.
Well, too bad he's horny and wants to fuck. You're gonna have to be patient.
Yeah, you must stay a bit more with us.
The Sultan sighed, annoyed, but he stayed seated. He didn't let go of Adnan, though. He ran his hand up his naked thigh, groping and squeezing it, and searched for his mouth again. His kisses were messier and deeper than the other night, and soon Adnan was swept up in his pace, reciprocating the best that he could with his own tongue and hands. Girl! He gon' get promoted to Pussy Princess. To big Pussy Princess, the bitch fucking house down boots. I don't make the rules. He gasped when al-rashid mouthed his neck, sucking and nibbling rather hard. It would surely leave a mark. Marked it as his, bitch. Adnan felt the other guy's eyes set on him. It was embarrassing. He avoided looking back at them. Was Halim also watching as they made out? The idea of Halim seeing him like that, flushed and short of breath, wasn't as disturbing as it should be, but he wasn't as indifferent to being watched by the other harem slaves. Rashid joined their mouths again, giving Adnan the excuse to close his eyes and try to ignore the sensation of being watched. The Sultan was obviously too horny to care about that. Obviously. Do you see how much he is writhing that body, trying to fucking dry hump him in the middle of I'm pretty sure they're gonna watch him fuck. At this point. Like, I can't. Bitch, I can't. It was arousing, in a way, feeling how badly he wanted him. Adnan himself was half-hard since the dance, but when Rashid grabbed his buttocks and pulled him towards him, angling their members in the right way, Adnan's brain melted from lust. The Sultan bucked his hips, prompting their dicks to rub against each other. Don't do this to me. The thin, translucent fabric that enveloped Adnan's hard-on was already wet and messy, clearly evidence of a state of excitement. The tent in Rashid's loose trousers had a pre-cum stain in which it rubbed against Adnan. The slave was almost tempted to open them and free his bitch. But he threw his arms around the Sultan's neck to savor his mouth instead. I was about to say, where it's like, if you do not give a fuck about the rest of them, they would be like, alright, let's go. Let's go dick out, pussy bopping, honestly. What? This game is way up. This game is way hornier than I thought it would be. But honestly, not fully surprised. Sorry, I just saw that I just like had some sort of weird mark or something on my mouse. I need to wash my mouse pad. Another girl, calm down. Another roll of al-Rashid's hips. A shot of pleasure sent Adnan really close to his climax. He pushed the sensation down, panicking. Not there. Not in front of everybody. The Sultan's hand, still on his ass cheeks, kept kneading them. Girl, I don't care. I know that I streamed today, and I know that my summary's ready, but girl, I don't need you. Thank you, though, Twitch. The Sultan's hand, still on his ass cheeks, kept kneading them, occasionally spreading them open. Adnan put a hand on top of Rashid's, keeping it on his buttocks, but far from his hole. He pushed down his hips, enticing a moan on both of them.
Oh, yes, Adnan.
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't whisper in my ear like that. Oh, you gon' make a bitch messy. He repeated the action, being rewarded by a hot gasp on his neck. Rashid muffled his next moan by biting him and grasped his ass cheek so hard that it would surely leave a mark on his fingertips. He pulled Adnan down and up, following a quick rhythm that drove the two of them crazy. Girl, you need to go back to your fucking room. Girl, you need to go back to your fucking room, like, right now. I don't care how, I don't care when, but, bitch, you need to go back into that room and fuck his pussy up, boy. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. This is bad. I'm going to come. I thought Rashid wouldn't stop by then. He was obviously too close himself.
Please, not here. I beg you.
Adnan almost teared up when the Sultan stopped moving and looked him in the eye. He looked so serious and pained, but still dignified, instead of the flesh-hot mess Adnan was sure he himself looked.
We are leaving now. I bid you good night.
Oh god. He pushed Adnan gently off his lap and led out to the room, holding his hand tightly.
Adnan, I want you so badly.
Oh my god. Oh girl. I wasn't expecting that fast of a transition, but okay. They barely made it out of the Heron's column room into the garden before they were searching for each other's mouths again. The Sultan's kisses were desperate, and he kept humping Adnan's hip, horny as a dog. I can fucking girl, I can hear your voice actor. I can hear your voice actor. He gon' get that tonight. He gon' get it. He always gets, but like, he gon' get it. Adnan himself needed relief, and he needed it right then. Hi, girl. So, when Rashid dropped to his knees and roughly picked aside the fabric that barely managed to cover Adnan's cock, he gave in to the pleasure and bucked his hips against the Sultan's eager mouth. Girl, you are not fucking in the garden.
Yes, please.
You are not fucking in the garden. The Sultan's wet mouth wrapped around his burning mouth. No! You're fucking in the garden! They're fucking in the garden! Girl didn't even make it to his room. They made it to the garden and they were like, this is good enough. Messy! The Sultan's wet mouth wrapped around his burning member, soothing it. Adnan tried not to push against it again, but it was hard not to succumb, not when he was so close now. Adnan covered his mouth with his hand. Ashamed of being so loud, should he touch al-Rashid's head? Was it allowed? In the end, he merely rested his free hand on the Sultan's shoulder, grasping the fabric for balance. At that very moment, he saw the corner of his eye a number of faces peeking from the harem's window. They were watching that! That's what I'm saying! Girl, you didn't even make it into... Girl, you didn't even make it... Sorry, I'm like keeping an eye and making sure that my levels are okay, which maybe I should bring it down by 1. But... they are in the garden! Just decided to do it in the garden! They just said, okay! Adnan was tempted to push the Sultan off, but then he saw the man was stroking himself while giving him head. He must be so close now. Couldn't stop him right then. So he shut his eyes and tried not to think of being watched again. He wouldn't be able to stop by now. Rashid sucked harder on his tip, caressing the slit with his tongue, and Adnan groaned and let himself go. Fucking shoot his face. He felt his hot semen go up his cock and finally splurt, spilling freely inside the Sultan's mouth. Girl, who bobbed his head through the whole orgasm, milking him dry. Girl! There is no fucking way. In the garden? Where people can see you? Shirokoi would be proud. The man made a guttural sound around Adnan's cock, and he didn't need to look down to know he was also coming, squirting his load onto the garden's cobblestones! Adnan needed both his Adnan needed both his hands placed on Rashid's shoulder to keep his balance right then. He didn't want to open his eyes, too ashamed of what he could find. Is he aware that we are being watched? He wondered, not for the first time that night. As the previous night, the Sultan was quick to recover, and after a moment Adnan was prompted to open his eyes and move. Rashid was smiling at him and tugging on his arm.
I think we will make it to my bedroom now. Let's go.
Wow, he really said, I need a break, I need to touch you, and I need you to if you seek Amy.
Begging to if you seek Amy.
Love me, hate me, say all you want about me. All the boys and all the girls are ready to if you seek Amy. Girl, there is no fucking way. And Adnan followed him gladly, eager to be in a private place at last. The Sultan pushed Adnan against the door as soon as they closed it! Girl. His kisses might be less urgent now, but the way his fingers dug into Adnan's waist gave away how excited Rashid was.
Adnan, I'm glad you're fully adapted to the palace by now.
Yeah, I'm so, like, fully adapted. I know how to, like, serve, kind of. I know how to dance, and I'm very attractive, as you can see. All of my cuts and bruises healed. I actually got some sleep now, so, like, thank you. Oh, fuck.
Adnan,
Stop.
you don't know how difficult it has been for me to restrain myself from calling you. But after that first night, when I went a bit overboard, I didn't want to force myself on you.
See? Oh my god!
But after that
Wait,
first...
what? Will you stop it? Oh my god, I need to, like, clean my mouse or something, I swear. Oh, so that's why he didn't choose me until tonight, Adnan thought, relieved. And here I thought he was just pitying me.
But look at you now! Not only do you look healthy and gorgeous, you even offered yourself to me like that. That means there's no need to go easy on you anymore. Tonight I'll enjoy you to my heart's content.
He really said going on it like white on rice, pita! He said beat the pussy up, call pita, girl. I am going to scream. Adnan shuddered with a small rush of panic pumping through his veins. What does that mean? He wondered while Rashid leaned him to the bedside and started searching for something inside of a small trunk. The Sultan turned to look at Adnan after a short moment, with 2 items in his hand and a wild smile.
Don't make that face, my dear Adnan. I just want to play a bit.
Don't say that. Don't say that, you son of a bitch. You just want to play with it, with this pussy? Get that dick and go. He placed a piece of fabric over Adnan's eyes and tied it behind the slave's head, effectively blinding. Girl, we gonna get into some fucking BDSM shit.
Can you see anything at all?
Adnan shook his head as a negative. He felt on edge and wondered if he had the right to complain aloud or if the Sultan would get upset if he did. He would probably be disappointed, even angry. And it was just a blindfold. Adnan gulped down his uneasiness and decided he could do that. Of course he could.
Excellent. Now I'm going to tie your hands.
just saying that, just like out of the blue, just being like, just so casual about it. Just like, I'm gonna tie your hands now. Girl, I'm excited. Adnan's not. But I am. Listen, my boyfriend and I did some shit while he was here, and let me tell you, I am excited.
What?
Shh. It's It's not a big deal, is it?
Adnan felt his wrists firmly tied up. It didn't hurt, but his blood flow was seriously limited. The rustle of clothes warned Adnan of the Sultan's movements. Rashid came closer until he was whispering in his ear.
It's said that when sight is impaired, the other senses are heightened. Can you feel it yet?
Oh, don't do that to me! Oh, don't do that to me! Adnan tried to check what his other senses were registering. He could tell where al-Rashid was thanks to his hearing, yes. Not only his exact position, but also his every movement. He could hear his breathing, slow, measured, at odds with how breathy and low his voice sounded. Rashid was obviously turned on, but he was in no hurry to take Adnan to bed, that was clear. That thought made Adnan relax a little. He wasn't going to be pushed face first to the bed and entered roughly. The Sultan had other plans. Whatever they were. His plans included touching Adnan with feathery, barely there touches, it seemed. Oh no, you better do it pleasurably and not as tickly, because if you tickle me during, like, you know, like a sexy time, I will punch you. Not only because it's like, no, it's not in the mood, but it's just because I don't like being, like, I like being tickled in like a cute way, but if you, like, tickle me, like, I will go into a panic attack and I will punch you. If I do not trust you in that kind of way. Straight up.
You're so pretty, Adnan. And the way you've moved tonight. Oh, dear Allah. You drove me crazy with lust.
I can tell. His voice was raspy whisper. Well, his voice was a raspy whisper, directly in the boy's ear. Adnan felt a chill up his spine. Rashid caressed his hair gently, playing with his long locks. Adnan felt his own hair tingle him when it grazed his bare skin. Then the Sultan's hand followed the shape of his body, light touches running through his torso and arms, demarcating? I'm pretty sure, his silhouette. Rashid's breath was warm on his skin when the Sultan crouched in front of Adnan to untie the knot that kept together the remains of the dancing outfit. Oh no, I'm gonna have to censor, aren't I? Gentle hands pushed down the fabric, stroking Adnan's legs in their way. They stopped at the ankles, followed by bone structure with a finger, and then going up the naked shins again. Adnan felt completely bare and helpless, and if he was an offering, a sacrifice of sorts for the horny Sultan. It made him feel uneasy, but it was also thrilling, noticing how Rashid's breathing was getting faster and more labored the more that he watched and barely touched Adnan's body. Girl said, tie me up and keep me away. Girl said, let me take my time. I am going to call the authorities. He could feel the Sultan's gaze, almost as a physical touch, making him feel really desired. It made him look forward to what was coming next.
Adnan.
What? The voice, the voice and the sound of clothing moved away. He heard the Sultan sitting on the bed. He stayed still until Rashid ordered him to move.
Come closer. Follow my voice.
He obeyed, walking to the bed until he was standing right in front of Rashid.
Turn around.
Girl, he did so.
Now lean a bit downwards and spread your legs.
No, I can't have this today. Girl, you gonna make me into a mood. I'm gonna have to call my boyfriend later. His voice was a low, velvety purr that went straight to Adnan's groin. He did what the Sultan asked him to do. The next thing he felt was a wet finger caressing down between his ass cheeks. Adnan's face burned in a mixture of embarrassment and arousal. Girl, you should be all arousal. You're not being watched. The Sultan's finger prodded at his entrance, putting just his fingertip in and moving it inside and out, making a shameless wet sound. Adnan covered his growing erection with his tied hands, mortified. He was ashamed of noticing that part of him wanted that finger deep inside of him already. Or even more than just a finger. Slut. But the pressure was gone in a moment, and the Sultan sat up and steadied his own breathing.
Very well, Adnan. You are such an obedient boy.
This is hitting like 2 of my many buttons, maybe like 3 of my many buttons. Do not start this with me, game. That and the sudden lack of touch sobered Adnan up and made him go back to his usual rebellious self. Was the Sultan praising him like a dog? No, trust, no, it's not like a dog. It's not like a dog. Another rustle of fabric. The man had changed position, but he was still sitting on the bed.
Now I want you to go down on all fours and walk around the room.
Never mind, he is treating him like a dog. Oh, so we playing it like that now. Okay. Alright, I guess we're playing it that way now. Oh, we're doing some pet play. I am not in it anymore.
What?
Humor me, please. I just want to watch you moving on your hands and knees.
Okay. Exactly like a dog, Ignat thought, putting a face. Seeing his hesitance, the Sultan changed his tone of voice to his usual gentler one.
Adnan, this is just playing. If you really find it hard to do, you can say so at any time, and we'll just go to bed and do normal things.
Surprising himself, Adnan nodded and kneeled down until he could rest his tied hands in front of him, as Rashid has asked.
It's alright. I can do it.
Okay, go do it then. Do it then. Perhaps Adnan found it easier to comply with the Sultan didn't use that amused tone, as if he was making fun of him. When he asked... Oh, wait. What he was asking of Adnan was just playing, as he had put it. He decided he could definitely do it. He would please the Sultan and would make all those haughty harem boys shut up. He started walking on all fours. The bedroom was huge, and if you remember correctly, there wasn't any low table in his way and at least 10 paces.
Perfect, Adnan. Just keep straight ahead.
Thank you. Adnan realized he had to osculate his hips in order to keep his balance with his hands tied up that way. I hope that bastard enjoys this view, he thought. Angry and ashamed. Girl, you gonna get some you gonna get some fight, you gonna bite a bitch. Rough! He was aware of the way his ass must look, standing out and shaking from side to side with every step he took.
Turn around now.
The Sultan's voice was again ragged and aroused. Adnan turned and crawled again into the bed. A hand on his shoulder made him stop when he reached Rashid. The same hand pulled down his blindfold. Oh, hey, bitch! Hola, puta, ¿cómo estás? Adnan had to blink a couple of times, blinded by the sudden light of the room after those long minutes of darkness. He was kneeling between the Sultan's legs, and Rashid smiled at him slightly from above.
You've made me so hard, Adnan. Here, check it out yourself.
Should I pause it there? You know what? I think I am going to pause it there. I think that is exactly what I'm going to do. Tease you a little bit. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Veed. I hope that you had a wonderful time watching this. I hope that you had a wonderful time watching me walk around like a dog. Am I wrong? Make sure to hit that like, comment, subscribe buttons down below. You know, help a full YouTuber out. Make sure to hit that notification bell so not wait to miss any of my uploads. And I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.